holding a deep sense of betrayal with a heavy conscience on her shoulders. Subaru brings her best friend out to the place where it all started, where she got saved from her bullies that made fun of her hair by these chibis. She tells Kaoruko, "I told Tsumugi to never see you again!" In a flashback, crybaby Subaru unleashes a sea of tears seeing her hero fall off the monkey bars, playing like a bat. But daijoubu. Kaoruko is always bright, happy, and upbeat, unlike herself, who may appear to have an angry exterior, but inside, she's simply frail. Although Subaru was just looking out for Kaoruko's best interests, meddling by going behind her back to tell Tsumugi to not see her again was objectively the wrong thing to do. And so, shaking at the possibility of the end of her friendship, she bows in an apologetic dramatic display of forgiveness. But like always, the upbeat and happy Kaoruko saw right through Subaru's intentions as being one of kindness and care for her friend. She apologizes right back. It almost feels disappointing from Subaru's point of view that she wasn't mad, like,
"You're supposed to be mad at me because I did a bad thing."
But Kaoruko is built different. She's a special person with a great outlook on life and how she treats her friends. These are the people you want to keep in your life and always by your side, as she explains that it is her fault for causing all the ruckus in the first place by standing outside of the Chidori gate, knowing how much of an issue Kikyo has with Chidori. Subaru feels a tremendous guilt from Waguri not knowing about what she did and how Rintaro may never end up telling her. When you do something behind your friend's back and have some semblance of conscience, you would feel Subaru's guilt. She even feels ashamed that even though Kaoruko forgives her, there is a sense of relief, and that relief makes her shameful because she feels like she's taken advantage of her good heart. So Subaru balls out. But Kaoruko is there to play hero, to grab her hands and squeeze those wet cheeks. Sometimes when you have such a depressing friend, it's time to remind them that life has more to offer, like playing on the monkey bars and revealing the truth behind her fall. Like, that fall actually severely hurt Kaoruko, but the heart of gold crybaby inside Subaru couldn't bear to see her hero be in pain, and so she cries out that she should transfer that pain over to her. That over-the-top reaction and care for Waguri was so touching that it made her forget all about her pain. Subaru still feels like a burden to Kaoruko, but we are all Kaoruko when she tells Subaru off because she doesn't realize that looking out for her and being sensitive towards how she feels is what she needs. That's what being a friend is all about. Subaru needs to stop thinking that Kaoruko doesn't need her just as much as she needs her. Being the odd person out at Kikyo, Subaru was there. Falling off the monkey bars, Subaru was there. And she is here now because she was looking out for her best interests. It's that guilty conscience that she knows that Subaru is a good person. That is the Subaru she knows, and so she loves her back this much. Being the good friend Kaoruko is, and Subaru realizing that they need each other. She does the thing that should have been done from the very beginning, and that is just ask Kaoruko what she wants. And what Kaoruko wants is Tsumugi. And then she asks the most important question in romances love to put off after leading us on, arc after arc. Do you like Tsumugi? Waguri doesn't just like Rintaro. She loves him. This leads to Subaru snitching out Rintaro after she just tried to do him dirty by revealing to Kaoruko that when she asked him to stop seeing her, he said nope. That's right, Subaru still feels some shame and cowardice within her, but hearing Kaoruko's true feelings and belief in her shouldn't just simply be cast aside. For a friend this caring, uplifting, this is someone Subaru vows to always be there for, as it is an irreplaceable one. So if she wants some Tsumugi, she can have the Tsumugi. Over time, hopefully Subaru can see what Kaoruko sees in herself and love yourself. If one of the guys end up dating crybaby Subaru, she'd be an emotional mess as they continue their stroll into the safe streets of Japan. Tsumugi messaged Kaoruko. Right after Waguri and Hoshina just had their most important heart-to-heart besties moment, Rintaro is over here emotionally shook, contemplating his life decisions. But he must find a way to settle the uncomfortable disagreement between Subaru and himself, and to make sure he doesn't spill the beans about his one-on-one with Hoshina-san, so it doesn't cause a rift between the three of them. Since he doesn't have Subaru's contact, he contacts Waguri instead to find a resolution for all of his relationship conundrums. Waguri calls, and Rintaro panics for a moment. Good thing Mommy Cakes isn't around to make fun of him. He does the right thing and apologizes for not texting back earlier, but that's besides the point. He needs to talk to Hoshina, and he needs to talk to her now. Kaoruko giggles her way until Rintaro's interfere and hands the phone over to Subaru to make this interaction all the more confusing for our smart Chidori boy.
Tsumugi desu.
Subaru and Rintaro end up meeting up after school the day after to talk about the Cafe of Denial incident. After some awkward back and forth, Rintaro spills it out.
What can I do for you to let me see Waguri?
You know how society sees Chidori boys like derps when the prestigious Kikyo girls are evil. Are put on pedestals. He understands the social differences between the two schools and how all that can negatively affect Waguri, who is on a scholarship, but at the same time, love speaks. Also, he doesn't want her best friend to feel burdened and give off all that disapproving negative energy. We've all been there. You hate the best friend, or the best friend hates you. But Subaru is like,
I'm not her, mommy.
she made the decision to ask Rintaro to stop seeing Kaoruko on her own and says that Rintaro already made his decision anyway. Continuing on further that she was mean to all of his friends. But that doesn't mean much to Tsumugi. Even though it was rude, she only acted that way in protection of Waguri. That is a sign of a great friend. Subaru is starting to realize that Rintaro and Kaoruko are like birds of a feather when there is a romance anime and you need timely drama. So we have wind, flowy hair, and an expression that screams, Kaoruko really fell in love with a nice guy, huh? And so she realizes that she has indeed been a meanie for no reason. Once again, she spills the beans that she told Waguri everything. Everything? Everything. The only caveat is that when they meet, they should meet further away from school to avoid unnecessary interactions and rumors from people they know, as if that's not going to eventually happen anyways. Hey, it's that pure-hearted NPC kid that's going to say the thing that's going to deliver important character development. You guys look like a couple that needs therapy, except he didn't say any of that. The kid blurts out that they look like good friends, but in reality, they need to quit playing. They'll be at each other's weddings in the future. One day, Subaru will learn to like herself, and that will be the day she probably ends up falling in love herself. She asks Rintaro an unexpected question. Will you be my friend? I don't think Rintaro has a choice. He points out that he's a derpy derp, baka baka Chidori boy, has something actually gotten into her, and the episode ends with Subaru turning on the heroine aura to reveal it's a secret. You know this is a high school romance when one of the girls overthinks everything and doesn't straight up talk to her friend. Although Subaru got way into her own head, we all know that Waguri is going to understand her, and that is why she's such a great character, because she is so uplifting and understanding. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode specifically and everything up until this point. And if you guys enjoyed my recap and commentary, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, check out my blog at otakusen.com, and check out my previous videos on the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity and the Sword of the Demon Hunter, and check out my main channel where I cover Fragrant. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.